and welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures That Outperform. Frank Wander, the founder of People Productive, and I'm here with Terry Mays, certified culture engineer, and we're going into episode 16 of How to Lead from Anywhere. All the episodes have been important. This is a great one because I think this is something that is certainly underutilized and underappreciated, which is appreciation itself. If you want to be a great leader, you've got to show appreciation. And if you want to be a great coworker, you've got to show appreciation. And it's all about the power of thanks. And this is an incredibly important topic because showing appreciation is ultimately a choice. You got to celebrate your successes and celebrate one another. Everything that people do, what they do, because when you show appreciation, gratitude, and we're going to cover the different aspects of appreciation, you get more of that. If you show no appreciation for something that somebody did, you get less of it. And so this is a very simple rule, but it is just incredibly important. And we're going to give you a set of norms you can roll out and deploy in your organization, as we have with every episode. Try them. Give us feedback on the types of experience you've had with appreciation. We'd love to hear from you. Please make a comment. We'll get back to you. And let's just get into it, Tara.
Yeah. This is one of those things that you cannot fake. You've got to be genuine when you do it. But it's also one of those things you can do that doesn't cost you anything. It will absolutely boost your morale when you show appreciation and thanks, and it's genuine. It will boost your morale like nothing else. It is really one of the key foundational things that you should have as a leader in your leadership toolbox. You should have this ability to spot and recognize people that are doing something great, and then on the spot, thank them for it. Call them by name and thank them for what they did. It will make such a huge difference, because when people feel like they're not appreciated, then they want to stop doing the good things. They will kind of back off and not give you their all. They'll give you what you ask for, but they won't go over and above because they feel like you don't appreciate them. So this is a very important thing.
It just couldn't be more important. And, one aspect of appreciation is gratitude. And the great thing is that when you show gratitude, not only does the person you're showing the gratitude for feel better, you do too. You should be giving gratitude for all you have every day and be thankful for it. But you should also be thankful for what others are doing. And gratitude is a way that you build relationships and show that you really appreciate what somebody has done. And I was chatting with Terry before he came out. I said, I remember coming in on a Saturday to get something done. It had been a day off. I was supposed to go somewhere with my kids at the time and do something. And they had a big system had to get in. I was running a big piece of it. And I'm like, okay, I'll go in. Spent the whole day there. Monday came in. Nobody even said thanks. It was like, it didn't happen. It almost didn't matter. And so I'm like, what the hell? Blanket, I'm not going to go out of my way. Nobody even cares. Hey, thanks for coming in. All it takes is a minute for somebody to go over and show gratitude that, wow, you came in your day off. I know you put this work over your family on that weekend day. Thank you so much. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Don't make people feel like they're obligated to do something extra. People are not obligated to do extras.
That's a great point, Tara.
Yeah. So when they do extra and they go over and beyond, celebrate that. Thank them for it, because it's not something that really they have to do. They're doing it because they want to do well. They want to go over and beyond. They want to make sure that whatever you're working on, the project or whatever it is a success. So make sure you recognize that and say thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We bring these up, and the norms help people be aware of this. So you have to be on the lookout for things that people are doing that are going above and beyond. You've got to have, your senses around you, and you've got to care about this. You've got to care about this. You got to understand it matters. And then it kind of happens automatically. And so this is very important. We bring it to you so you're aware that if you're a remote leader, you should try to find out what the people who are working remotely or around you are doing that you should be grateful for. And you should show gratitude. No question about it. Very important.
Absolutely.
Roll this norm out. Get everybody to show gratitude to one another, because it builds really strong relationships and helps strengthen the bonds between people. And so this is a total winner. Now,
Yes,
acknowledgement, right? You know,
that's right. That
people,
acknowledgement, it's really a part of you being self-aware. So you have to really pay attention to others and not just yourself. When you're looking to shine the spotlight, you have to really get outside of yourself and what's going on with you so that you can consider other people and shine the spotlight on them. As a leader, don't always look for people to shine the light on you. Look for opportunities to shine the light on somebody else. Call out those people that are doing great work. And even if it's not something work related, but they recognize that one of their peers wasn't feeling well, so they brought them, some soup, or they went over and showed an act of kindness to somebody else. Those things matter. And so when people do it, recognize it, celebrate it, put the spotlight on them. I know there are people that don't like the spotlight, so you have to be careful with this one. But most people like to be appreciated and publicly appreciated. So
right?
make sure you're doing that. Make sure you let people know that, hey, you did something that added value to the team, even if it's not something project related, is where I'm going with that. Even if it's something that builds the culture in the organization, call out those things so that people know, oh, this is how we build a great culture.
Yeah. And, listen, people count. I always put this in the category of everybody needs to be needed. And it's interesting how oftentimes, executives and leaders will go over to areas they care about and acknowledge the fact that they're doing important work. And they'll leave all the other people who are run the business and doing things that are vital to the ongoing success and survival of the company. But they'll never come around because it's not part of the strategic plan. Everybody needs to be needed. Individuals need to know they're needed. Try to find opportunities to acknowledge everybody's importance, even if they're not working on the most important thing. It doesn't matter. Everybody needs to be needed. I remember, as a junior leader, sometimes people would come up and they'd say, "Oh, what are you doing? Let me help you with that." And I was too immature to realize they needed to be needed. They just were trying to help to be needed, not because really needed the help. And I was like, "Oh, look, you're so busy. Please don't go out of your way. I'll take care of it." And I finally realized, like, "Oh man, I love help. Thank you," because they were trying to be needed, and I
Yeah.
just didn't get it. I was too immature as a leader to understand all these human factors. So this is really important. Everybody needs to be needed. Every team, every person. You got to find ways to acknowledge everybody. And that's a form of appreciation, but everybody needs to be needed. People count. And that's why you do this. It really matters. And then celebration. We celebrate our wins and acknowledge our losses so we shine, learn, and grow. A lesson learned is something to celebrate, quite honestly, right? And that's why on the board you see wins and lessons learned because you're celebrating all of it. But celebrations for bigger things. It's not like walking over to somebody and giving them the thank you card. This is where, hey, this team really outperformed or this individual did something spectacular. We're going to celebrate them. And you get people together and you do something a little bigger, above and beyond. Talk about what did we learn? Big win. Did we learn anything here? Wow, let's celebrate that. We're all growing. And so celebrate together. You've got to. It's a
Yeah.
human need. Humans need to celebrate. That's why when it gets very dreary towards the holidays, you have holiday celebrations thrown in because people need to celebrate and feel good, regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, this is a big one too, because when you work hard and you've gone out of your way, you've done some weekend work, you've spent a lot of time doing overtime and all these other things. And when the activity is done, the project is done, whatever it is you're working on is done, you want to have that sense of accomplishment that we accomplished something great. And so it makes it feel like it mattered, that I spent all that extra time. It was worth it because we got this big celebration that we celebrated all of those great wins and even recognized, hey, we could have done this a little bit better, but we still had a great success. That is a way to help people feel like, okay, all of my sweat and blood, sweat and tears was not given in vain. It was for some good. So this is a way to make them feel that.
Yeah. And when you look at the work environment, this is also a chance to give people a break, to stop some work, to give them a break so they can recharge, have fun, build that energy back up. So this is important. And I think celebration probably occurs more frequently on people's mind because it's for bigger things than either the acknowledgement or the gratitude. But you got to do it all. These are all forms of appreciation. You got to really celebrate all this stuff. And so next week, we're moving on to another episode. Can you be vulnerable as a remote leader? Are you hiding behind that screen? You know, not being fully yourself. You got to drop your armor and be totally vulnerable. We're going to talk about how important this is next week as we move on to episode 17. Now, we have a really good series coming in the new year. I mentioned in the last episode, which is going to be people unproductive. Who are these unproductive people that just get in the way of everything all the time? Going to be a great episode. And, you know, this gratitude and other things are ways to motivate people without money. We did a whole series, Terry and I, on how to motivate people without money and covered a whole bunch of things. And you should go back and take a look at that. It's on the People Productive YouTube channel. It's also on the People Productive part of LinkedIn. You can go and see the company page there. And so these are all good things. But anyway, we hope you could join us every Wednesday, 3:00. We have another episode. And, you know, be vulnerable between now and next week. So try to start now. Don't wait. Thanks for coming.
Yes. Bye for now.